What's going on, everybody? I'm back with Josh. We're doing something today. We're just going through some politics stuff. Josh, would you like to say hello?
Hello. Hi, everybody. Sorry. Typing one thing right before we get started here. What up, y'all? Do I need to do an introduction again? People saw me last week.
Yeah, they saw you. I mean, whatever.
My name is Josh. I'm a former streamer, line cook,
he said line cook.
Radical leftist, union organizer, communist. Not actually. Definitely. Here to talk politics with my longtime buddy Cody, who we've known since middle school, high school.
Yeah, we've known you since
like 9th, 10th grade, something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you were in 10th grade. I was in 9th grade.
Yeah,
because right. I had been a year below you, so yeah, that sounds about right. But all right, well, we have some things. Josh brought one thing to me today he wanted to watch with us, and then I also had one other thing I sort of kind of wanted to get into. This is a video of, let's see, AOC sat down with Republican voters, and I actually think, I'll be honest with you, I think this is probably gonna be interesting for me. I'm
gonna say, for the record, I have not watched this. I have straight away. I saw it on the feed, and I was like, I won't watch this. I will save it for stream. So I am not a pre-watcher. Let me make that clear for the record. Don't want
fair enough
any aspersions cast on me.
No, you're good. I do think it's I don't know. I find it a little bit difficult that she will act. I mean, okay. It's not that I find it difficult that she will be able to appeal to right-leaning voters, because most, at least in my opinion, I mean, I know me and you have different opinions about this, but I think that most like workers, like middle class, lower class workers, are very susceptible to the populist message that an AOC would bring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like I'm totally fine with that.
People.
But I just don't know if they trust her. That's sort of kind of where I'm at. Where like I like the rhetoric, I like what she's saying in a lot of ways, but I always sort of kind of like, there's a hint of I don't know if I. But we'll let's just listen to what she says, and then we'll sort of kind of figure out how I feel about it as we go, I guess. Ready?
I'll be interested. I'll be interested to see. So like kind of I think to kind of set this up a little bit. I wanted to show you this. And I wanted kind of us to go through it because I think it's an interesting exercise. I think you're generally, I think, like I would guess the people in this video are going to be, you're probably a little left skeptical. So I kind of want to see, and maybe analyze a little bit.
I mean, that's probably fair. That's probably a fair critique of me or whatever. It's not just that I'm skeptical of the left or leftists. It's that I'm skeptical that, because I believe in what they say, I just don't think they'll do it. You know what I mean?
That's left skeptical.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, this is all right.
But and it comes down to like why you we can get into like why you don't believe that, but that's different from. I think that's markedly different from like, I think these are bad ideas because I think the idea of like, oh, well, that's a bad idea. Universal healthcare, that's a bad idea, and it's like, well, Yeah, no, I don't like. For example, like I don't disagree with any of that. Like I think like someone today, I don't know if you saw that, but it was a random thing where I was like talking shit about you remember? Well, no, you weren't here on Sunday. I was talking shit about the UFC. Oh yeah,
and just how like we're just moving inch and inch closer to idiocracy every day, and like how I just and actually there is one thing I wanted to get about that, but that's a little bit conspiracy stuff later, but we'll do that later. But the thing is I don't appreciate using government facilities for entertainment for the public for some kind of propaganda machine. You know what I mean?
It's usually not good. I would certainly agree.
Yeah, just like it immediately makes me go Roman Republic. Like this is the Colosseum. We're just entertaining the people so that they don't know that their food is getting more expensive. You know what I mean? Like that's really what it feels.
I mean,
like.
if we especially if we contrast something like, over the weekend there were two big sporting events, and one of them was, a was the Knicks winning the finals. I'm not much of a basketball person myself personally, but kind of, I think it's an interesting contrast between the way that Trump and his wing of his party goes about, like, sporting events and everything. Like, you still had to pay for you had to pay for Paramount Plus, you had to pay
Yeah.
for, the pay-per-view, you had to pay to get in, you had to do all this shit.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, up
Yeah.
in New York, you have the mayor of New York, Zoran Mamdani, who's like, we're gonna screen the game to the public, and we're gonna make it available for people who aren't gonna make it into the stadium, so we can have a communal experience of watching the game out in the streets. And I think, like,
No,
that's
that's
a
awesome.
real clear difference of,
Yeah.
like, the priorities of
It's
these
like,
two kinds of, I think, governance. So
well, what ended up happening was on the post was I was talking shit about just them, because there was I don't know if you know the guy, Bryce Mitchell, I think is the guy's name. He got like a couple months
UFC
ago.
fighters, admittedly.
Well, only reason that I know him is because like 6 months ago, maybe like 8 months ago, he did say some real racist shit. he said some he was real fucking out of pocket, dude. He got deep. He started saying Hitler was good, all types of stuff. He said a lot of real fucky shit. Yeah, it was a little yeah. However, there was a clip of him talking about being denied from the UFC 250, and basically, like, he was like, "Look, man, I don't feel bad about it. Like, I would love to be there. If anybody steps out, let me know. However, I don't believe that the government should be putting on these kinds of events." Basically. And he was like, our taxpayer funded dollars are going to these events. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And
I mean, if they're going to, they should be free. They should be free to the public.
Because it's a public event at that point. If you're using government funds to be able to fund something, it's a government event. But and the person who commented was like, well, the UFC paid for the entire thing. And I'm like, well, yeah, that maybe that's true, that like they paid for the advertisements and they paid for maybe the setup of like the stage and this and that, right? But it's like, you do realize that public funding goes to keep those grounds good, right? So it's like, after this, they have to clean it up. After this, they have to get this all back in order. So even if it was, privately funded 100% by the UFC or whatever, or even by a specific individual like Dana White or something, it doesn't mean that the public isn't funding the cleanup of this event on a White House lawn. Or it doesn't mean that like the government has no say in the prices of the tickets or of, what I mean? Because it's on government land. So it's one of those things where
it's the old privatize the gain, socialize the losses.
Yeah, well, and so his whole thing was like, he got on there and he basically said to me, he was just like, so you would be against this if like the left did it too? And I'm like, yeah, but they haven't done this. Like, the most that they've ever done is maybe had like like a trans book reading. Like that's the most that we've got. You know what I mean? And even that is like
on the White House. I don't even think that's happened.
I agree with you. I'm just making like the most. You know what I mean? Like the biggest argument they would ever make is if that ever happened, that would be their argument to like, and that was, you know what I mean? From what I've seen, a lot of people's argument on other posts about it. Like that's what they would go. Christ. That's what they would reach to. And I was like, well, that's just a ridiculous, because also that's not the same thing as a fucking UFC event. You know what I mean?
That's like reading to children versus human cockfighting.
There's vastly different fucking degrees of you know what I mean, what we're doing here. But it was just yeah. So I did. He basically called me a leftist though, and I was like, I mean, I didn't necessarily take that as an offense. I didn't take it as an offense.
Slur right there.
But I was also like, well, look, man, I'm not either.
Report that guy.
I mean, I agree. But I'm just saying, I'm not either, so you coming to me with that is sort of kind of just null and void. Like, you
should own it. You should own it.
No,
you should be like, yeah, you're fucking right.
That I have complete,
I'm a fucking Communist.
I know. I should troll people a little bit more, but I'm just saying, you know that I have criticisms of everybody, so I don't pick fucking sides in this. I'm like, everybody is wrong, and I don't like it. But anyway, all right. Well, let's go ahead and play this, and then we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Let's get to the video. Yeah.
I just thought it was funny.
When the blasting started, it went on a couple of months. My sister-in-law.
So I can't hear anything. So I don't know if that's. I don't know if there's a reason for that.
Oh, here maybe.
Just to let you know, I cannot hear the video.
Give me 1 second. Is it maybe?
Make sure my audio is in the right spot. What the hell is this? Oh, okay.
You should be able to. Let me see something real quick. So if I press play, you can't hear anything?
Nobody from Amazon has bothered to say one word. It was 3 blasts a day, 7 days a week for months.
Are you sharing your monitor?
Yeah, I thought I was.
It's either you might need to share the window.
That makes sense. Sorry, guys. Give me just 1 second. We're trying to figure this out real quick. We're still new to the trying to get this stuff together stuff. Let me see here.
It's always a process, folks. Audio is always the big one. Video usually isn't.
But I should be good at this.
When video's not working.
I should be good at this part, though. Let me see here. But I guess but we didn't have problems last time. So maybe what it is that I need to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
Do that. Okay. Now hit play.
It's unbelievable.
There we go. Okay, cool.
When the blast.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So
in the money
started, it went on a couple of months. My sister-in-law's ceiling come crashing down.
Nobody from Amazon has bothered to say one word. It was 3 blasts a day, 7 days a week for months.
This is unbelievable.
Damn, what the fuck?
What happens when you take Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to the heart of the data center revolt?
And they're just trying to say that
okay.
no one should cover this.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but I'm on a.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if it's them talking about data centers, I don't think that there's anybody who's like a. I mean, there's like maybe 3 Republicans in the House and Senate collectively that are like genuinely against data centers. So they're definitely gonna get AOC's gonna run away with this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what her interactions look like.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just think it's. I was like, oh yeah, this makes sense. Like she's definitely gonna win people over with this one because I'm like, yeah, like this is wrong. Like, yeah.
Social Security check. I can't afford to do that.
You didn't blow up your ceiling.
No, I didn't.
We wanted to know how voters who feel politically homeless,
and raise your hand if your electricity bill has gone up and your water bill has gone up.
Yep.
From the black suburbs of Atlanta.
Are the local politicians supportive or what?
To conservative rural communities.
This is not a party issue, this is a people issue.
That's right.
So it doesn't matter what party you are, it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
How are voters going to respond to a democratic socialist from New York?
People want to call me woke, whatever. This is about power.
With the Trump administration pushing for more data centers.
The AI race is a big deal. The construction of colossal data centers.
He looks like such shit these days.
Can I just say, I just didn't like that they did the left-right thing there. That pissed me off.
I don't know why
the audio.
I don't know why. I mean, sometimes it's just like that's the video. That's how they did the audio on the video we pulled.
No, they didn't. That was a artistic decision, and I didn't like it. I'm sorry. Oh, to get the Ashburn. All right.
Stuff built.
Where does that leave regular people like Beverly Morris?
Well, I feel trapped because I have no way out.
How is the backlash against a data center boom the key to unlocking America's politics?
We've never been more polarized. I just think we got to show up in these places and see these things for ourselves.
Okay.
Well, do you want to show us? There's been some damage to your house?
Of course. Yeah, sure. Come on.
Pamela Felder purchased her dream home 3 years.
Wait a minute. Where is this?
Ashburn, Virginia.
Oh no, that's right. This is in Atlanta. Okay, I was like, wait a minute. This
I thought this was Ashburn.
That's why I was like,
I'm pretty sure this is Ashburn.
I think it's Atlanta because they said black suburbs, and that was the woman that they showed earlier.
Yeah, but well, maybe you know what, you might be right about that. But they right here it says hold on.
Locking America regular
yeah,
that's Ashburn.
Oh, so they're just talking about that one. Okay,
yeah.
Pamela Felder purchased her dream home 3 years ago.
So the first initial thing I saw was the crack in my porch. Wow. All the way across.
All was well until explosive blasts started to shake her home earlier this year.
It sounded like someone picked up my house and went boom. A week after that, that's when I started seeing cracks all throughout my house.
Oh, what the fuck?
And I found out.
This one, usually these are about all the sound that they create.
Yeah.
But like, Jesus, I did not realize we were fucking setting off explosives.
Well, I mean, you got to set off explosives to clear the land. I don't.
I guess so.
To be fair, though, I'm not saying this lady's lying. I'm just saying, like, okay, if this is in, I don't know where. I mean, if this is in Atlanta, this is different. But if it's in Virginia, you know, that's the Piedmont region, right? So it's basically all swamps. So like, it is very possible that those things. I'm not. Again, I'm not saying that this lady's lying. I'm just saying it's possible that those things could have happened through other sources.
Are you white-splaining to the nice black homeowner?
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying like, hey man, there's a crack all throughout my house here in Texas. There's like a crack all through the ceilings and everything, and it was like a year and a half after the house was built. So it's like, I'm not. Yeah. I believe her.
I think we all know what the build quality of in Texas is, though.
Hey, relax. All right, well, let's go. Sorry.
The 2 million square foot hyperscale data center is being built less than a mile from Pamela's home.
Oh, that's
you can
bad.
still see where the paint is ripped all the way up my stairs.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
I noticed the ceiling that looked cracked across there.
My dad worked in construction, so.
I mean, I would, to be fair, like to know how old this house is. Because, like, if it was a brand new construction, none of this shit should be happening. And if it is cracked everywhere because of all these explosions, then she definitely is owed a settlement. You know what I mean? Like, 100%.
I mean, it's like it looks newer, but not. It looks like within the last 10 to 15.
I would agree with that.
Like, but looking at the house, I'm like,
that's
like
a lot of damage for
build.
nothing. Unless, because the only option is either it did happen when she noticed it, or she just didn't notice it until now. And I mean, but I mean, it looks like a newer house. You would notice a lot of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know. Yeah.
Like I'm really sticking my nose.
Oh yeah, that's rough.
That
crack in the corner.
And your neighbors are experiencing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, if every house in the area is doing it, yeah.
Company.
And what are they saying when they deny it?
Okay.
They said my house was settling.
Oh,
okay, so that was in my head. I was like, hey, is it settling? I'm just being, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's what they're gonna say, because they're gonna be like, no, it can't possibly be us.
I know.
That's you.
I was just playing devil's advocate, just like, okay, is there any other reason that these things could possibly happen? But to be fair, it's probably not. You know what I mean? It's probably this.
Pamela's neighbor also came by and insisted we see a giant sinkhole.
Oh shit!
She said was caused by the blasts.
Oh shit!
Makes you want to cry. No one's listening. Why a data center? Why now? Why here?
Unprecedented amounts of money are behind the race to build. Meta is investing $600 billion in data center infrastructure through 2028. OpenAI has pledged over $400 billion. Even the real estate company responsible for this site just closed a $3.25 billion funding round.
If these tech folks love these data centers so much, put it in your backyard.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Or
put it in your backyard.
Put it away from people's homes.
This is why we're saying.
That's the thing that China did so well. They just.
What? Oh, that they built all their shit. Well, China also, like, they've been rapidly industrializing. So there's also that thing where there's like, well, yeah, people go over here. All that infrastructure, we put that shit over there.
Yeah, no, exactly that. They're just like, hey guys, listen, I know that you want to have a good life, so what we're going to do is we're going to make it so this area is no go. This area is, you can't buy land over here. You know what I mean? We're building this thing, and then everybody else, so that we don't hear you complain, we're going to shove you like an hour outside of that. You know what I mean? Which is, to be honest, if you're going to run like a good society, that is actually a good plan. Is be like, hey guys, we need this power. We need to do this. We're going to clear list the end over here, but we're going to make sure that nobody's affected. We're going to do this and that. You know what I mean? Like, that's actually, I heard, dude, I'm going to show you something a little later. Sagar even today was like, I think that he legitimately said that China has a better system than ours. And he straight up was just like, public ownership is a good idea now.
Yeah, I mean, I have opinions on that, but
I mean, I do too, obviously, but it was just,
it's a lot easier when you know, their economy is very different. And
no, I know, I agree. It was just one of those things where I don't think I would ever have heard Sagar say that. You know what I mean? Like, he's not a person to say that kind of thing. And then he's like, the way he said it, I was like, oh, that's a big shift. That's a big shift in his ideology about things.
I mean, maybe one day he'll get the hint.
Yeah, maybe.
We need to slow the roll on this because they're moving fast. We're just saying pause it so that we can move forward in a more just way.
That's right.
In a fair way.
Yeah, for everybody.
For everybody.
Yeah.
None of these people seem right-leaning.
But far from the
so
black
far,
suburbs of Atlanta is much Trumpier country, and the idea of AOC isn't as enthusiastically received.
There's some really extreme liberal views out there.
Before they met her, I asked folks what they knew.
God damn, that politics. One old lady is like
just from an overall view, very fringe left.
Oh, the white lady in the chair.
Of old, like, white conservative old
the one
money.
In the flowery dress or whatever.
Yeah, I guess she was. It was just the old lady. Like, it's like one of those where I'm like, you need to. Those are the type of people I'm like. It's time to
about
go
AOC's
back to this
politics.
It's time to
just
return.
From an overall view,
return to whence
very
you came.
fringe left.
I'm probably a
that
lot
lady.
more
Yep.
conservative than she is.
Yep.
How are your politics evolving? And
they're evolving.
She definitely said the N-word when she was younger.
I'm not impressed
and she says it in
with
her house.
the politics on either side.
That's rude. Okay, that's all right.
I'm sorry. You know, I find it so funny. Right-wingers say the most like fucking insane shit, and everyone goes like, you know, that's just how they feel. And the minute somebody of my stripe says something, even like as spicy as like pepper, everyone goes, oh come on, like, oh, let's be reasonable. Let's be reasonable here. Sheesh. Why do you have to be so mean? Golly.
I know.
Everyone gets fragile whenever anybody from the left insults them.
I know.
Get all butthurt. They're like,
That's how the construction
of a
this 2.5 million square foot Meta data center is contaminating their drinking water, a charge which Meta denies.
This is my cold water pressure in the kitchen.
So you can see the sediment from the data center.
And this is what's in all the pipes, too. They should be responsible for that, not us.
I mean, how's Flint doing? I mean,
when we were here last year with
it's
actually, I think there has been an update for Flint, but I don't remember what it was.
No,
actually,
there has been better. There has been better water there, but it's not nearly as good as it should be.
And Meta was still building this data center, but now it's operational.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Look at that.
Oh shit, Jesus.
Right next to these
That'd
people's
be fucking
house?
Miserable.
I would be so pissed. I mean, look at that. Look at that, dude. That's
it looks like it looks like what's it called? It looks like they've actually looks like they actually finally fucking got around to fixing it.
Dude, this is I'll be honest with you.
2021? Looks like 2021 it finally got
at least
settled,
addressed.
Even though looks
that's
like
good.
it.
That's
looks
good.
like it.
That's good.
Which is good.
But dude, this data center right here,
it's fucking massive.
I mean, but the thing is this is a small one.
Well, yeah,
I mean, the one that they're planning on building, in Ontario or wherever it is up there in Canada, is like 60-something miles.
Jesus, dude, that's fucking huge.
Same thing as the one there in, I think, Ohio or
fucking
Utah.
60 miles? That's like...
No, it's like 62...
the size of an entire city.
Dude, it's literally like 62 square miles. And it will take up the same amount of energy as the city of Manhattan.
Jesus.
Like, it's
and for
insane.
What? For what? To fucking...
So I can make fucking cool YouTube fucking AI generations.
Fucking... The entire internet's just going to be,
It's not a good trade-off.
Rapidly approaching.
But even this, though, like, look at this. Like, so this is...
right now?
But, like, even if you look at this is, there's a lot of, like, conspiracies on the internet that a lot of the data centers, because we have so many, are just concentration camps. And I dismiss that a lot. But, like, if you look at this, you're like, I don't even know, man.
That's way too expensive for a concentration camp.
You're very
Why would you
right.
spend
You're
this
very
much
right
on a
about
concentration camp?
No,
You don't
you're
even
very
spend
right.
this much.
You're very right. But I'm just saying that, like, when you look at it, you're like, oh, that... If you are a no...
I mean, yeah, it's a
like,
big,
if you're a dumb person...
fucking facility.
Yeah, if you're a dumb person and you're like, well, I'm not getting any benefit from any of these facilities and we're building 4,200 of them, you can see why somebody would think that would, you know what I mean? I don't agree, but I was just like, this looks crazy. This is crazy.
It's the FEMA camps.
I don't use the water.
No, it's exactly.
I gotta put us all in FEMA camps.
I did for a while.
You won't take me to the FEMA camps.
I've got to use it.
Right.
Hold on, 1 second. I'm gonna turn on the AC.
Yeah, do you think? I'm gonna press play.
The water here
I mean, it should
years.
be. I mean, this is my view, but it should be a right for you to be able to turn on your tap and drink what comes out of it.
The Morrises aren't alone. Other residents also came to us with stories of their contaminated water.
This is the sediment that it's picking up. The cold water pressure everywhere is pretty bad. You cannot take a shower and wash dishes, or take a shower and fill up the horse's water. You just can't.
Yeah.
Refrigerator.
Well, also because you got to realize too.
In the big 226.
Well, it's also you got to realize too. I think that like a lot of these places are being built where people are more rural. They're not built in cities where there's
well, they need the space, but yeah, I mean they need the space, but what else are rural people normally? Pretty fucking poor, right?
Yeah, but so my point is basically that like they're draining all this water off, and these are already the places that don't have the infrastructure in place to be able to distribute that water correctly. So then you're just fucking these people every step of the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the more water gets siphoned off into these into these data centers, the less water actually gets outputted to these communities. And so it's
We have issues with.
I mean, it's always people make it like a people. I think people like this is. I feel like people in the in a lot of like rural neighborhoods and rural communities, I feel like they saw the, I think the destruction of like our
the writing on the wall
areas. Well, it's like it's when it's time to put like a highway in, right? A highway expansion, when it's time to do any kind of like, where do we put the shit part of town? Where do we cut through neighborhoods to put to put a fucking highway so that people from the suburbs can get back into the city for their jobs? Where do they always put that type of shit? It's always in the poor neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Now those poor neighborhoods might be in the city, but at the end of the day, this is like a lot of things.
It's the standard playbook.
War.
It's the playbook.
Yeah, and it's like they can't put a data center in the middle of a city because it needs space, it needs different kind of infrastructure.
Yeah.
But they're damn sure not going to put it outside of nice suburbs, outside of nice white people suburbs. They'll go put it in the black suburbs in Atlanta, but they ain't going to put this shit in fucking trying to think of like what the really nice fucking areas like we grew up in. Like they're not. What was the neighborhood across from our school?
I mean,
they're not gonna put that shit over there.
Actually, to be honest with you though, the one of the largest centers of data centers in the country is in was it Landon County?
We're talking about Loudoun County?
Loudoun, thank you. One of the biggest data centers is in Loudoun County, which is not very far. You know what I mean?
No, but Loudoun County is also not one of the like. Well, actually, let me look. I haven't. Which one's Loudoun?
I mean,
I always forget.
Don't get me wrong. You're not wrong in the sense that like it isn't in Fairfax County, it isn't in Lorton, it isn't in whatever. But it's Loudoun County is 30 minutes away. Yeah. You know what I mean? 30, 45 minutes away. So it's not like they're building that far from these mass
but like
centers,
you know,
you know what I mean?
but they're not going to put it in the backyard of some fucking.
But I'm just saying it's not like they're being. I'm just saying that they're not being secretive about it. Like they are getting as close to infrastructure that they can. That is, you know, good enough or whatever. And then so I don't know. It's Anyway,
things that's water related we have issues with. And this is the filters from the filtration system after we pull it out. So.
And you used to change those filters
God
once
damn.
a year, or?
Yeah.
I think typical people are probably 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
And now you're doing it once a
Brother,
month.
this shit is fucking.
But you feel stuck, right?
Once
you feel
a
like
month.
you can't.
Fucking brown
even if you
wax
wanted to
paper.
move, you can't.
No, not
Okay.
and be able to get
So
the
this is her actually talking to the people who.
Yeah.
value that we put into our home.
Well, let's keep going down the line here, Connie.
Our fight is in Coweta County. We just had a large parcel of land rezoned for a data center, but we don't know who it is yet that's coming.
And I'm Tina. I live in Oxford, Georgia, and it's the Amazon data center.
We're not just fighting Facebook or Amazon or any of these data centers. That's not who we're fighting. We're fighting the entire institution that allows it.
They think people aren't paying attention. They'll go
I wonder
sniffing
what she
around,
thinks the institution
jiggling
is. I would be curious. I know they're not going to ask, but I'm curious.
Can I give you my
as
take
to
on
what,
that?
To what they would, what she would think the institution is.
Can I give you my take on that?
Sure.
Because I think it'd probably be. I think it would probably be along the lines of what she would say if you asked her this. You know what I mean? Which is that, just like I've told you, I think in the past, is that the institutions themselves, regardless left or right, have failed us. And so, and because the institutions in themselves are not left or right coded at all. Like there's no like, it's not like I can say, for example, the left failed me because the FBI didn't do X, right? Or the left failed me because the Treasury Department or the Agricultural Department didn't do X. You can't blame them. You have to blame both institutions because both institutions have been in control of that, or parties have been in control of those things that have been fucking them for years. And so while they, again, sort of kind of like the way I felt like, they were like, well, hopefully this guy who, the one thing I said was like, well, we all know that Trump's a fucking liar and stealer, and we all know that every other fucking politician is a liar and a corrupt cop and everything else. So hopefully this dude will just lie and steal on our behalf. It's sort of kind of the thought behind a lot of the people who are like the Trump voters is like, we know the institutions in themselves are broken, so we're trying to elect somebody who will break it for us. But what ended up happening was that person just completely used the system to fuck everybody. You know what I mean? And so their mental thought when they're having these conversations and they say like the institutions have lost us, they genuinely are talking about everyone. I mean, yes, they're talking about the Trump admin and they're talking about all that stuff, but they're talking about the institution as a whole. You know what I mean? Which I don't think they know means, and this is where I think that people are just sort of kind of, I don't know, I guess the word is like ill-informed or uninformed, is that it is everyone who's causing these problems. And so you need to have like a genuine stance where you say like, these people don't need to take money from whoever. They need to be in my interest. They need to be stewards of my vote or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But they're just coming around to this because they sort of like where we had the thought in 2016 with Bernie, they're having the same thought now with Trump. You know what I mean? Not in the same way because Bernie obviously lost and Trump won and then just fucked him. But the way that we had the awakening of like, oh, the DNC is rigged, they're sort of kind of having that same emotional response to, oh, this whole system is rigged. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily know if that's even true, but that's my take on what, like, when you hear right people talking about the institutions have failed us, some of them are talking about like this left-wing institution specifically, but most of them are just talking about, hey, the people that we thought would help us got put in there and just failed us completely. You know what I mean? It's like a self-admission that like they were wrong, but they don't want to say they were wrong, so they blame the institution. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's at least my thought about that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Every door handle to see what county they can push these things through on.
It is necessary. I understand the need for it, but the manner in which they're going about it is not only wrong, it doesn't even make sense.
I don't blame Amazon. I don't blame those businesses.
So I think that's one of the central problems. I think
it's like not blaming them.
Well, no. It's not that. I mean, you know, and this is a bit of like, you know, it's the job of people like AOC. It's the job of people, you know, elected officials, people who disseminate rhetoric, to educate people. I think in an understanding of like, because she said, you know, I understand it has to be built, right?
Yeah.
And my issue with that is, at least in my opinion, it
doesn't have to be
a little bit of like, I'd be okay with this if it wasn't in my backyard. If it wasn't in my backyard, different conversation. And that's, I think, something that really I think like undermines
like their own argument.
I think a lot of conservative politics, because there's a certain level, a deference to authority on that side of, you know, the political spectrum. And because of that, do you think she has any kind of understanding of what AI does, what it is used for, what it could potentially be used for?
I mean,
she has been told.
Yeah, probably not. But go ahead. Yeah.
Like the idea that she's gonna understand how a language, a language
especially
learning model works.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't have any idea how this shit works, but she's been told by people that I think she believes to be authorities on the topic that like, this is inevitable, we have to do it.
What's a trust the science
she's just
narrative?
Upset that
it's a trust the science narrative. It's a, hey guys.
No, it's not. Well, it's not a trust the science. I mean, it's not a trust the science, because
it's not the same thing, but it's the same mentality of like, you trust these people who are in control of this thing, that this thing will do this thing. And it's like, so you're saying they're saying oh yeah, the AI revolution will help you this, that, and the other ways, and so this thing does need to be built, but it doesn't need to be built. Like her argument is, doesn't need to be built in my backyard. Like, she's NIMBY, right? But her whole thing is like, well, it does need to be built when because her belief is that AI is the next step, and like, she believes the propaganda in that way.
But she has no idea. You know what I mean? But my point is, she doesn't know what that even means. She doesn't. I
agree.
My argument would be, I don't think the same way. I think the people who create all of this stuff don't really know where it's going to end up. And I would only push back on the argument of it's not a trust the science argument, because trusting science, I don't trust like I don't trust individual doctors because they personally like, are some authority on this or that. It's that studies have been done, research has been done. There's like a clear line of like, you can replicate this. Like, we have found an answer that is replicable, that we can study. And at the end of the day, there's like a guy who's like, yeah, I did all the studying and like, this is what we found. Whereas something like the AI stuff is, anybody who's an AI expert has a monetary incentive to make everybody they can believe that AI is necessary. It is the future. If you look at the way that they talk about SpaceX's IPO from the beginning of the week, they're talking about how, SpaceX is going public and it could mean everything in the world, all the AI and all of this and all of that. Their job is to sell you a product and get you to buy into the hype. The difference between that and like science is, people want you to be educated about the world, but nobody wants you to be educated about AI. They're not going to sit there and tell you how it works, what the damages are, what any of the intricacies are. They just want you to engage with it and be told that, oh, this is the next big revolution. Please let us steal your data and steal all of your interactions on social media to feed it into this system that we will then profit from.
Yeah.
Like, it's a complete profit motive. Whereas like something, at least on the science level, is like, you're doing that to be educated, because the field of scientific study is like, is an educational one. It's not a monetary one. Obviously, there are companies who benefit from the development of drugs, the development of tools, any of that type of shit. But that's,
no, I get what you're saying. It's
on the
separate,
other end of
it's
things.
A separate argument in the sense, like, that makes sense. I get why you're
what it would be like. It's better. It's a better example. Fucking what is it? Medicine commercials. Like, we watch TV, like, you watch TV, what do you always see? Commercials for random ass medicines with random ass names you've never heard. And what do they tell you? They show you a big fucking commercial that like makes you think it's gonna do all this stuff for you if you have, glaucoma or whatever the fuck. And it tells you, go to your doctor and ask about, the drug that we just advertised to you. Because they're not trying to educate you. The only part of it that's educational is at the end, when they go, when they pull the like, this drug could possibly with like all the side effects, and they say it as quick as possible, so you can't catch it. There are like symptoms that are like there are side effects that are literally the symptom you are trying to get away from. And it's just like it would be like trusting those people who have a monetary incentive for you to take a drug.
It's a difference between the science community as a whole, who's like an educational academic pursuit, versus the monetary pursuit of whatever. Learn. Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, like nobody gets paid just to learn shit. They should.
Yeah,
but
I get you on that. Here, I'm gonna press play and I'm gonna go pee real quick.
Government. That's who's supposed to be taking care of me. My commissioner should have been looking after our community. Our governor should be looking after our state. Like, it goes up. A business is a business, and it's about making business, and they don't care what they're doing to people.
Right.
They don't, and that's a shame, but they're greedy and they don't
the
care.
Way it is. Yeah.
We appreciate you taking the time to
That
come
is how
here
it works
about
under
it,
capitalism, ladies and gentlemen.
because until someone at a national level gets really serious about it, nothing's going to happen.
We should be starting congressional investigations on the effect on these, and figuring out with precision how we protect our water supplies, how we protect your power bills and water bills, and keep people from getting
like nobody
sick.
should be paying more to their water
from the
bills because
Morrises,
some
a group of residents successfully pushed
Amazon,
for a moratorium on a 95-acre
data center wants to come
project.
Suck up all the rest
Where
of the
do I
water,
know you from?
creating
I'm a
scarcity.
congresswoman from New York.
Oh, come on. Yeah,
I love
you
this
a
guy's
girl.
fit.
You know, just like me.
absolutely.
We organized because we know what we want in our community. And they did not anticipate that when they had the Board of Commissioner meeting, that hundreds of us were going to show up. They couldn't deny us. They had to stop and say, wait a minute.
Across the country, more than 50 local data center moratoriums have already been enacted, with dozens more proposed or under consideration across the U.S. But this patchwork approach has left a lot of communities vulnerable.
We're in a neighborhood that's in unincorporated Clayton County, but just over the fence line is the city limits of Forest Park, and that is where the facility is being built.
Wow, okay, all right.
Jeez.
So the county has a moratorium, but the city does not?
Correct.
Wow, and so the city, even though the city's inside the county, it's not covered.
Headphones? Hold on.
Hoo-wee, all right, talk about a loophole.
Yes.
For now, the local fight continues.
The community has said, we want walkability in our neighborhoods, we want clean air, we want clean water.
Yo, are you getting this? Are you getting this like frying
It's like
sound?
a
Or is that my headphones?
Frying sound?
Yeah, like scratchy.
No.
Like just play it. Actually, one second.
continual
Hold on,
fight.
hold on.
It's like we're surrounded by piranhas, you know, that just keep trying to pick at us, but we just keep fighting.
In March 2026, AOC...
You good?
That's fucking weird. Okay, hold on one second. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Okay. You can keep going. You can keep going. I'm just trying to fix it.
And Senator Bernie Sanders introduced legislation at the federal level called the AI Data Center Moratorium Act. It's both a response to growing opposition to these facilities,
There we go.
but also about the need to establish a nationwide policy about their construction.
Fucking
Our responsibility
Bernard.
is to take care of people, and that is what we're here to do today.
What you're proposing is a national
Can I ask-
moratorium.
Yes.
Can I
And
ask a
it's,
question?
You know, it's not the same
Yeah.
thing as an outright.
Why is this only a thing? Why is More Perfect Union these kinds of videos, but more specifically, why do you think Republicans don't do this, like as a party? I guess
What do
I'm
you
kind
mean?
of curious because this thing where they like do an educational video and and the whole 9 yards. This do you notice that this isn't? There's no version of this on the right.
I don't know if I
right-wing
agree
media,
with
which
that.
I find interesting.
Well,
And I'm
okay,
curious why you
okay,
think
okay.
that is.
I think
Like I know a lot of people talk about local issues, but like, you know,
You mean in this way? Meaning in the sense that
well,
like
yeah,
it's
and,
almost like a
do you
documentary
notice
about a
there's not
community.
educational? Yeah, like there's not educational content on like the Daily Wire or on
Yeah,
name
I guess,
anybody, but
I
there's no
guess-
like educational. Let's go out and talk to people, get some perspectives. Like JD Vance has never shown up, you know, to one of these and just been
Oh.
like, oh, let's just do, you know, even pre, you know what I mean? Do you notice that that's like,
Yeah, I guess. I'm trying to think about what the actual answer would be. Like, I mean, I think okay, if you want me to give my answer, I think it's because on the left these kind of things are just more valuable. Like they hit
education?
No, they hit more in the sense of it's the type of content. For example, like I think a lot of right-leaning content is much more based in like, and I sort of kind of think it comes from like actually like a perception thing where like the right comes from a very individualistic base where they think about things very individualistically, and so they also think about individual interviews a lot. So like you'll have Tucker Carlson interview individual people who are very impactful and stuff like that, but he's not doing a documentary on like the community. You know what I mean?
I mean, he'll talk about data centers, yeah, but he won't go, you know what I mean?
That's
like,
my point.
Be
is like
all these data centers are going up in these neighborhoods.
Yeah, he'll do an interview with like a person in that neighborhood, and he'll do like a expose on their experience or whatever. But he's not doing like a group interview with multiple people, and I don't know why that is. I don't know why the disconnect is there. You know what I mean? Or maybe not disconnect, but whatever. Because I do think it would be beneficial if Tucker Carlson did like a community and like had them voice their objections and opinions and this and that, and then him actually take on those things, almost like, you know, just not debate style, but just having the conversations, which happens a lot more on the left. But I also think that the left needs to get better at having individual conversations with people sometimes. You know what I mean? So
I mean, I think that's what we're watching right now. I think we're watching an exercise.
Well, see, that's the thing is I think the difference is that the individual conversations that the people who have on the right are like 3-hour conversations with a single person, versus this is a 15-minute. So, you see what I'm saying? Like it's the difference in the type of content. I'm not saying that there's a better or worse. I'm saying it's an interest from each side in those types of content. You know what I mean? Like the left.
Don't you think you think too often the right will run, maybe not run with, but like will hyper focus on
an individual story,
one individual.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a good example.
No, I agree with you.
Do you remember the dude who wrote that? He was like that country fat boy, wrote that popular-ish song or whatever. The Richmond.
Yeah, Richmond from Richmond. Yeah.
And did you notice how, like, you know, it's not like they engage very much with that community or with those, with more than just that guy who went viral.
I agree.
And made him into a big thing. And then, I mean, he dropped off the face, you know,
he's still big on like West Virginia radio and stuff like that, and I still listen to some of his stuff. But I do understand what you're getting at, and actually I agree.
You have
100%.
him. You have Kyle Rittenhouse. What the fuck are they doing these days?
Yeah.
Like the reason why I asked, and kind of like the reason why I'm thinking about it a little bit, is it's like I think a lot of times when we look at like right-wing content and when we kind of assess it, I find that most of the time it's not about building community or coming together as a community. It's not about finding a solution that's like, you know, going to deliver justice to people. It's just this one guy or this one person who has whatever fucking issue they have, and that's like it. That's the end of it. It's just a personality story, which I think is really telling, and I think emblematic of the different kinds of politics between the left and the right. The left obviously is more communal. I think that's like kind of goes without saying. I don't think anybody would deny that. But also I would make the argument that during the you went away for you went to go pee. While you were peeing, they met up with, and they're meeting them right now, with people in a different community than the kind of conservative folks. And what did they do? They organized, they got together, and they were able to kind of push back against whatever data center was going in their neighborhood. Whereas we found what were the conservative people doing? I mean, the one lady's like, we just need somebody federally at the top to, you know, get serious about the issue and fix it. And I think that there's a certain level of learned helpfulness maybe on that side, but also I think a level of comfort and just like being maybe not apathetic, but, you know, just kind of being like, well, this is just, you know, we're just gonna eat shit, you know, we're gonna drink fucked up ass water, and that's just kind of where we're at, because we, you know, tend to value more the individual, which I think is where it's like, we just take care of ourselves. Well, it's just my land. It's just and it kind of goes back to what I was saying, where she doesn't mind data centers going up. She minds data centers going up near her.
Yeah.
And it's another kind of, I think, through line of that, where it's like, community is in my opinion, community is the only way we fix a lot of this stuff. But I think people, especially and again, it's folks with my politics' job to bring those people in. But there's a level where it's like,
no, but I
gotta
agree.
Start organizing.
I understand and agree a lot with what you're talking about as far as just I guess really it comes down to this is the difference between the left and the right, really. Right. At the end of the day, the right is more individualistic and the left is more like communal. You know what I mean? Like that genuinely is sort of kind of the dividing line is like the right is like, I don't want any singular thing or person or organization to tell me what to do.
But they want singular individuals to fix everything.
Yes. It's the hypocrisy. It's the hypocrisy of it. And actually, I think this sort of gets into the thing I wanted to get into with Saga in a minute, but we'll finish before we.
I'm gonna say let's finish
that. But I will say that I find positives in both camps when it comes to that, but I do think you're right that the right needs to do a much better job of actually talking to communities about issues versus individuals. But at the same time, I also think that maybe the left could do a little bit better about it's not necessarily that they don't have to emphasize communities, because I think that actually is the correct way to go, but maybe emphasize individuals within those communities to be able to prop up those ideas so that they can get a better footing. You know what I mean? And a little bit of a better penetration into the right, if that makes sense. Because I think the right would be sensible or susceptible to those kinds of messaging things, but no one has been doing that. You know what I mean? Like the closest would be like Graham Plattner, where he's talking about his individual experience as a fucking was it clam or whatever farmer?
He's an oyster farm or oyster fisherman.
Yeah. So but a lot of right people clinged on to that because they were like, oh, I can relate to that because they relate to individual experience.
Well, yeah. Graham's a working class guy.
Yeah. So that's my point is I think that you're right, but I also think that the left could do a better job in the same way of the opposite. You know what I mean? That's why.
Don't get me wrong. Graham's also closer to a democratic socialist than he is to a liberal like Hillary Clinton or somebody. Which I will say, we are poised to, I think the left flank of the Democratic Party is well positioned to really begin making a push to take over that party, which is great. If you live in Denver, Milot Kiros, great candidate.
Hey,
wonderful candidate. Please go vote in the primaries. Did you know that the same congressperson who's represented Denver has done so for 30 years?
Oh, so they're Lindsey Graham, but for the left?
I guess. But would you like to know how many bills she has passed?
By the way, hello.
Baby.
Hello.
No.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, but 30 years she's passed 2 bills.
Holy shit.
Her entire career.
That's crazy.
Fucking terrible. It's fucking terrible. So, folks, if you want some change, we got a whole lot of real change happening over on the left. Just saying. Well, don't let them distract you with all the stir and frenzy over the one trans person in high school.
If you support them, I
support
whoever you support, mostly because I just trust you. But all right, let's go ahead and finish this up, and then I did want to show you one thing. Okay.
Yeah. But it's saying we need to meet some basic protections for people. We need some guarantees on your water, on the air that you breathe. We need to make sure that the jobs that stand to be wiped out, that there's a plan for that, and we're not just leaving people, you know, out to dry. And we need to just have some really basic common sense protections for people.
The bill would require a building moratorium until the federal government passes laws mitigating job losses, preventing utility rate hikes, and establishing environmental protections, among other things. The question is whether this is enough to persuade conservative voters to support someone far across the political aisle.
Do you think that people here could get behind someone like AOC and her ideas for AI?
So she's definitely like running. I feel like this has to be,
but I don't think she's gonna
like
win anything
another signal that she's gonna run in 20.
She might, but I mean, she probably will run, but I don't like it.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, our choices are fucking awful.
No, they're horrendous. And to be fair,
on the Democratic side, it's like Gavin Newsom.
Oh, he's
Kamala.
so bad. So that's not gonna happen.
Oh, Josh Shapiro.
Yeah, fuck that guy too.
Cory Booker.
Fuck that
guy
too.
It is a fucking nightmare blunt rotation of liberals and fucking Zionists.
That's the one thing
There's gonna be like,
worries me or not worries me or whatever, but it's like they just don't have, like, this is the problem with the DNC. This is the problem with the Democratic Party as a whole. Not necessarily the left, but the Democratic Party as a party.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that
party is
they just refuse to move forward. You know what I mean? Like, and to be honest with you, this is my issue, sort of, kind of with the whole like left, if you not necessarily left as like the people who are left, but the left as like a political party is it. And I guess it's really not the left as a political party. It's specifically the Democrats, like the Democratic Party. Is that they refuse to let people on who will win, like who will win.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, they genuinely.
I've seen some stuff. That they're helping to a degree Susan Collins in Maine against.
But I always just feel like that's one of those
which is
things
like nuts because it's like Jesus.
It just feels like they're.
But
always
they'd rather
just
lose. They'd rather lose. I mean, they're capitalists. They're
that's my point.
Liberals.
That's my point.
Like,
actually, it's really funny because it's the same argument that you always make about the right. I make the same argument about the left. Like, it's not necessarily the left, but the Democratic Party, right? Like, it's specifically the Democratic Party as like a party establishment. Like, the establishment in and of itself is not what the left actually is. You know what I mean? Like, the left is actually much more, I wouldn't even say radical, but realistic. You know what I mean? In like their actual like wants and needs, versus the Democratic Party as an establishment is just stuck in the 1990s for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't moved. Their politics haven't moved since.
But that's
and it's always been like if we can just manage it a little bit better.
But that's why you got so many people who were ex-Bernie voters to vote for Trump, which is the problem, because he obviously was not their person, but they felt like at least they got something out of it.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? So that's
there are no anti-capitalists on the right.
Zero. And so my point is that we have to fight like the establishment as a whole, as like left and right. It's not the right per se. It's not the left per se. It's the establishment that is in power. That is exactly. It's the capitalist. It is, dude. I've been coming more and more, you know, like I was having a conversation with somebody the other day talking about, actually, I think we've got most of this, right?
I want to see the reaction. Let's listen to the
last 3 minutes and let's go ahead and not. We'll just,
anyone who was going to fight for their rights to clean water and to live their life without dealing with this.
Now the tide on this is starting to turn. The politics on this, because everyday people are starting to catch on to what's going on.
She may be on the left, but on the data center issue, She's more centered and genuinely.
See, he should have said that.
Jesus Christ.
He missed a great tagline for her, which is, she may be on the left, but on data centers, she's right. That would have been a great tagline.
I was watching the subtitle for it.
He should have said that. That would have been a great.
What's funny is he said centered, and it's just like, man, the Overton window for these people.
I know, man. I know.
And that's refreshing to hear.
How do you wrap your head around addressing this at the national level?
We need to put people first, and we need those protections to be ironclad and guaranteed before we can have a conversation about what does and doesn't get constructed.
Do you think that this is an issue that could maybe pull our country together?
I don't know if it's going to pull our government all together. It's pulling the people together.
If there's a chance that anything can be done, I feel like she is going to be the one to do it.
Days later, AOC showed Beverly's water samples to an EPA water official testifying before her committee.
I have a jar right here. The only difference between the clean water and this was that data center. I have another one as well. This is what the drinking water now looks like.
That's fucking
next
gross.
to that data center. And I think both of us can agree that neither one of these things are drinkable.
So as soon as I get back to the office, I will be looking into exactly what you've just talked about, because anywhere, whatever type of construction it is a priority to ensure that water quality
it's too bad that there was a bunch of cuts to.
There are a lot of people with a lot of money who don't want to see this
every
thing slow
government
down.
program.
Like, the train's moving fast. We can't afford.
Yes, I agree.
To stop. Doesn't matter. We'll figure it out later.
I've been in a lot of political fights that have seemed insurmountable before,
buddy,
that we've won.
1, 2, 3.
No data center. No.
I just
really
don't
like that jacket.
believe in impossible.
It's a nice jacket.
I just think that, if you think
nice
something's
workman's
impossible,
jacket.
it's just that's an imagination problem.
Oh, it's got some hook. Oh, yeah.
We're going to keep following this story. If you have any tips for us, please reach out at stories@perfectunion.us and continue to follow our reporting in the months to come.
All right.
Before you go, please support our work by liking this.
It only took us 3 times the length of the video, probably, but that's just kind of how it goes, folks. Can't be mad at the content, right?
All right, do you guys want to see my son play guitar for half a second? Hold on. He apparently likes to.
Is he gonna play Wonderwall? Only if he can play Wonderwall.
He might be able to play Wonderwall. He might. It's very possible. Here, hold on.
I mean, if you gave him what's it called? If you gave him like a ukulele, could he actually like shred? Okay.
Putting it away.
Is he talking yet? Yeah, right. Like I can hear sounds, but I don't know if he's is he up to words yet?
Yeah. Hello. You want to say hello? Say hi.
I heard him say no earlier. I'm pretty sure.
Say hi. Say no. No. But yes. Yeah. Hi. Do you want to maybe do you want to do your ABC, or you want to do 1, 2, 3s? Say 1, 2, 3,
4,
4,
9,
5, 6,
11,
7, 8, 9, 10. No, we're not doing them. Okay. All right. Yeah, he
don't
can
like
do,
it.
He can do 9, 10. 9, 10. You saying hello? I love you too, buddy. You want to sit down? Dad's got to find a video. Okay. You want to sit with Daddy? Dog. All right, let me find this real quick because I just wanted to watch this part of well, oh God, there's two things I wanted to watch, but let me bring this up because I think this is actually pretty interesting, real quick, because it actually relates to what we were talking about. Breaking points.
Oh, I don't even have the thing open. Fucking Barry Weiss, man. Jesus.
I run a podcast solo. No producer, no editor, no tech skills, just Riverside. I get high.
All right, let me see here. Because there's a part in here
All right,
where, like,
what do we got?
So they're talking about how the Iran deal is going and everything, right? Hey,
Oh, yeah.
hey, no.
Do we think that's gonna stick?
Fuck no, dude. I
My
don't think
guess
that's
is it's probably not.
No, I don't think it. I don't think it'll last till Friday because Israel already started bombing southern Lebanon 30 minutes after the deal was announced.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, it's you know what I mean? BB literally 30 minutes. I think it was 34 minutes after it was announced that there was going to be a ceasefire and that there was going to be a peace deal and we were going to sign a memorandum of understanding or whatever
MOU.
on Friday.
I've signed those before.
It was 30 minutes after that they started bombing southern Lebanon. So I'm like, I don't. And then Trump comes out and says, oh, the attacks on Beirut and this and that were bad and they shouldn't do this because of some insignificant strike. And it's like, but then they just continue to strike and Israel comes out and continues says that they are not a party to this peace deal.
They're gonna end up.
It's crazy. Let me see real
With
quick.
Iran,
So,
and on top of that,
there's a part in here though where I'm not gonna lie, this dude sort of kind of goes off.
I mean, this comes directly from Trump because, of course, it does. You know, he is the one who has to, at the end of the day.
Oh, nobody.
Oh, yeah, this is the part. All right.
These people are the most pathetic cowards. They spent 3 months telling us, oh, nobody controls Trump. He's uncontrollable. He's independent. And he's so wise. And he's the one who took us to war with Iran. And you are a disloyal, to attack him and to say he's control. Now, whenever it's time to be doing a deal after the disastrous war you motherfuckers dragged us into, now it's like, oh, my God, he's controlled by his vice president. And no way he's going on Megyn Kelly's show. What a disaster.
I cannot.
I mean, they are such pathetic.
I pray that I never can relate to this level of like hurt and betrayal. Because
he's not hurt and betrayed because of his position. He's mad because of other people just being fake. That's the entire thing.
No, but they've always been fake. Like all the people he's always supported. They've all been fake.
But he's not even talking about people he supported. He's talking about
finally the light has been shined into his eyes. He has seen into the abyss.
No, I
agree. He realizes, my God, I've been how old is Sagar? I've been a fucking idiot for
our age.
30 years.
He's like 3 years older than us. 3 or 4 years older than us.
I think I remember like it's just one of those where I'm like, buddy, how do you get dressed? How did you not see all of this so obviously in your face? Like how many times? Like
real quick though, they're not
it's just
talking
amazing.
about.
It is genuinely amazing, but I love to see it. I do.
So
I
here's
do
the
love
thing,
to see it.
I'll play a little bit prior to where he just started because they're not necessarily talking about like exactly what you're talking. I mean, yes, you're right that it is crazy that now he believes this stuff. But like that's.
I mean, he
wants to sell it to the public. He wants to be
rah-rah on Trump in 24. He was rah-rah on Trump. So.
Oh no, I agree with you.
You know,
yeah, 100%.
That's the.
I mean, I would have been part of that coalition though. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, not necessarily.
Well, yeah, but you didn't get up on a.
Yeah, I don't get up on platforms.
Probably almost 1 million sub.
Yeah.
Of YouTube channel and write a book with your co-host and
Yeah.
Every one of her points has continued to be relevant, accurate, and like useful. And all of your positions have all fallen out from below themselves.
I don't think that's true.
Hoisted upon your own petard.
I don't think that's true though. Or
but they have.
I don't agree with that necessarily.
There isn't
the laurels that those people stand on, like the people who would have voted, like people like me, for example, who like wanted the no wars, wanted, you know, certain things from the Trump administration that he had promised. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand that those are false promises and you shouldn't have believed them and all those good things, and I'll take the hit for that. But and I have no shame, I have no ego about it. It is what it is. However, what he's talking about is the people who are still like the Trump loyalists, like who are legitimately like have no cognizant thought. They're just like, you know what I mean? They have, there's no thought behind the eyes. They're just taking the money and saying what they need to say. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. Like, I mean, that's not. Yeah. I mean, shit. You know, you're in the admin. You're in the admin, bud. Like you commit. You know, I'm a firm believer in committing to the bit.
Yeah.
You get in there, you commit to the fucking bit.
No, that's fair. But anyway, well, let's just finish this rant real quick, and then I have one more part that I want to.
Cowards. They spent 3 months telling us, "Oh, nobody controls Trump. He's uncontrollable. He's independent, and he's so wise. And he's the one who took us to war with Iran. And you are a disloyal, you know, to attack him and to say he's control." Now, whenever it's time to be doing a deal after the disastrous war you motherfuckers dragged us into, now it's like, oh my God, he's controlled by his vice president, and no way he's going on Megyn Kelly's show. What a disaster. Yeah. I mean, they are such pathetic.
If you got hit, even if you were not driving, you need to try this.
And now they want the deal to have to go through Congress. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whereas when going to war, Trump could do that on his own. But if we want peace, you got to have everybody sign off.
Outrage yesterday. John Thune has not been briefed on the memorandum of understanding.
Oh my God.
Oh, nobody briefed him on the decision to go to war. All right. All right. So you don't know if we can go to war without you, then we can get into peace without you, bitch. I mean, I'm sorry. I apologize for getting so worked up about this, but it's like living in an alternative reality, you know, where all of these people for 3 months have just been licking Trump's feet. And guess what? Whenever Trump attacked Iran, it was very important. I mean, you can go back and look at the record that I blamed Trump. And when I went on Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly's show, you know, when we were talking about the whole Israel, and I was like, no, guys, like, look, yes, Israel, this is Trump. So this time around, they can't do that because they're afraid. They're cowards, and they want to retain some level of influence. Now they got to attack J.D. Vance. And by the way, the reason I'm spending so much time on this is Israel Lobby Playbook 101. They are the nastiest.
He's defending J.D. Vance.
You know, they are the nastiest.
If he's defending J.D. Vance, then he's dumber than I was.
No, he's actually not. He's saying that
Thank God.
The whole thing is that like people are going out and defending JD Vance because they are attacking JD Vance because they're too loyal to Trump. So they can't attack Trump, but they can attack his position through JD Vance. And
hasn't Vance been like one of the more outspoken, like, we shouldn't be doing this?
Well, yes, but so it's again only through leaks, not through.
You know what I
mean? Like it's only through leaks, which is why the Mark Levins and the fucking Ben Shapiro's and them are attacking JD Vance.
That guy's still living
because they don't have any position other than that. You know what I mean? Like there's no position for them to take other than, because if they attack Trump, then they're no longer part of the coalition because he has the power.
Yeah.
Right?
You can't. You can't go after the bot. Yeah.
So they attack JD Vance because they know he's the low-hanging fruit, but in actuality, they know what they're actually doing is try to attack the policy. You know what I mean? It's all roundabout bullshit. But so there is only. I mean, that was pretty much all of that one that I wanted to show you. But there is one other sort of kind of one on here that I wanted to show you about.
Do they still have Emily on Counterpoint.
We have a memo of understanding.
I love Emily.
Disrespectful to Ryan Grimm.
I love Emily, dude. I love when Emily and Ryan Grimm are together. That's one of my favorites.
I've seen some of her commentary. She seems fucking retarded.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of that.
The problem with a lot of these hosts, and Emily's one of them, where it's just like, it's just kind of the same regurgitated shit of like, you know, where it's like, oh well, you know, if only they did it the correct way. It's like, no, this was never going to. They were always going to betray you guys, you fucking idiots. Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I'm trying to find this part.
Better? Oh, you're checking it better.
Oh, sorry. One hand off to the side. Better.
We've all been there. Only one hand on the keyboard.
There's a part when he talks about literally China having
excess
just a
oil that was.
Let me see here.
Exact number 1980s.
They
Let me see here.
I forget. I don't think Crystal's much of a China stan.
No.
Fucking. Have you ever seen those videos from like Chung King?
If you're struggling with
that shit, looks fucking sick.
I haven't.
Fucking Cyberpunk City.
Oh,
have you
from
never seen
Tokyo and stuff like that. I think.
No. Hold on. Let's see if I can find
EV adoption in the rest of the world. We still don't even know what level they were operating at. You know, zero. That I think in the markets from Asia to America, D2. Those 100 days of Ford trading around $80 a barrel before the war began. And people are going to remember that gasoline is the energy crisis, and something like that to go back. And so many different, you know, supply chains have been redirected from Asia to America or from America to Asia, that reshifting and coming back to the Strait of Hormuz, it takes months.
Right.
The night has they will go everything pumping as much as they possibly can. Saudi Arabia, you know, and others
them shut their wells.
I can't find it. There's a part in here in one of the episodes today where they're talking about you know what, actually it might have been part of their AI discussion now that I think about it.
Probably would have.
Yeah, because they're talking about AI and how
some very interesting
basically the way that they've incorporated sort of kind of AI into their world and this and that, you know what I mean? And let me see if
oh, okay. Wait, huh? Damn, what? Including rent for family of 4 months.
Oh, but if we do that, then China get places on our own.
What?
But that has
Maybe
only minor.
I don't know. I can't tell you.
Oh yeah, right here.
The class of 2020 Gaza. That's definitely part of it. But the reason why data center, if you talk to a younger person, I mean, you know, I remember talking about this last year. It's, you know, what is it? It's June 16th, so we're full past. The class of 2026 has mostly graduated. What do you do? We remember in our AMA, somebody asked us, they're like, what career advice do you give? I don't know. I can't tell you. And I didn't even graduate that long ago.
Pretty much everyone's
so
advice.
It's a terrifying possibility. I look at the wage growth. I look at the economy. I look at housing. I mean, what other than learn how to think for yourself and, you know, really try to build up, genuinely, like build up your ability to make decisions by reading a lot.
Jesus Christ. The fucking like right-wing brainworms always make their way in some form or fashion with him. Because it doesn't mean it like learn how to think for yourself. It's like, okay, what the fuck? You might as well tell me learn how to breathe.
Well, what he's saying is just not to accept the information that comes from like a chat GPT or whatever, because that information is
But that's not what he said. He could have said like do not talk to Claude for answers.
Yeah, but
Like
I mean,
it's advice that's not actionable. I remember hearing this
idea.
before, where it's like that kind of advice isn't actionable. There's nothing I can do to like, do the thing you just said, because what you just said is just kind of.
Well, it's the same argument that I make about like going to protests but having no demands. It's like, well, like if
you should go to protests.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that the concept is the same. Like if you're
you
not
should go to a rally. Do they have rallies? They have political rallies in Texas. You should go to a rally.
Yeah, they have like no Kings rallies a lot over here.
I would be really interested to hear your musings on like a political rally.
Well, my thing is
because you guys are gonna have a fucking heated Senate race.
Yeah,
like the primary's over.
My
we should really,
I just don't think that any of these things are important. Like I feel like it's genuinely just basically like I don't know, like we
should cover the Senate race. We should cover Paxton versus Tallarico. I think
I
that'd be
agree
really
because
interesting.
Paxton is a piece of shit, and we all know that. So you know what I mean? That's But my thing is I don't like that's why I don't go to the No Kings protest or rally, is because there's nothing. It's just people being, you know what I mean?
No, I know, but when was the last time you went to a political rally or a protest?
It's been since I've been in DC, so it's been 6 years.
I'm telling you, dude. Like, don't get me wrong. I have my issues with sometimes people at those things, but they are very good. If you want real advice, anybody who's young who might be in this chat, you want some real actionable advice, go to a fucking protest. Go to a fucking political rally. I don't give a fuck what side it is. Go out and fucking be amongst human beings.
Yeah.
And just kind of interact. Learn some fucking social skills, for Christ's sake.
I actually do agree with that because, for example, I've been talking to people actually the last couple days, more genuinely. Like I've just been talking to random people that like I work with, and sort of kind of just talking to them about like but because here's the thing. I work at Home Depot and I work with a lot of older people, right? And so there's a lot of interactions where people are just unaware, I think, of like what's going on in any way, really. And so if you just have the conversation where you say like, hey, left or right, take that out of it. How do you feel about these certain issues? A lot of the time, just they always revert to their political affiliation versus actually talking about whatever the thing is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's like
they're not focused on the issues.
Yeah, they're not focused on the issue. They're focused on the party that's behind whatever the issue that they believe in is. You know what I mean? It's like you'll have a conversation, like, and this again, this is left and right. Like one of my coworkers is, he's like a 75-year-old dude, but he's. Yeah, I'm about to be off here in just a second. Sorry about that. No, before that. Is he swinging and everything, having fun? Okay, I'll come out there. But like he's a much older guy, and he refuses if we have conversation. And this is the difference, I think, between. And this is why I think. Okay, this is why I respect you a little bit more than what I would call like a regular, just like Democratic voter, if you will. You know what I mean? Because I don't trust somebody.
I'm a lot more involved. Like,
I just don't trust somebody who says they're just like straight up a Democratic voter with just like the way I don't trust somebody who says they're a Republican voter, just like blanket statement. Like if you say that, I know you don't have any actual understanding of what's actually happening. You know what I mean? And so like, for example, this guy will be like, he'll talk shit with me about Trump for hours. And he'll talk shit with me about this and that. But then he'll be like, I'm really for, what's that one guy? The guy on the left who's he was an astronaut. And now he's...
Buzz Aldrin.
Close. But now he's running for Congress or whatever, running for president possibly.
astronaut?
Yeah, or he worked for NASA. One of the two.
What state? What state? Give me a state.
I don't know the state, dude. It's. I think it's president. So I think he's in Congress already. I think.
In Congress.
Or the House. One
astronaut?
of the two. Yeah.
Astronaut. Let's see.
And he's a Democrat too.
Former astronaut?
Maybe.
Mark Kelly?
Yes, Mark Kelly.
Bald guy.
Yes.
Where is this dude from? Orange, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Ugh,
so
Jersey.
He takes a lot of
his wife is Gabby Giffords?
Yeah. He's in there.
That's crazy.
He's out here, dog.
That's crazy.
He's
okay. He gets to be. This dude specifically gets to be as spicy as he wants. Yeah, he can be. He has the hall pass for me, for be spicy.
Your
wife
mind being
almost
spicy.
gets fucking assassinated by some like psychopath. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have the right to be like.
No, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with any of that. But I know he takes a lot of money. He takes a lot of AIPAC money.
Oh, Mark Kelly?
Yeah.
It wouldn't really surprise me.
It wouldn't, right? But that's my point.
Thing, Mark?
Go ahead. Pull up the AIPAC tracker.
Oh no, I'm looking up his open secrets.
Oh, okay. But
I believe you. I'm just curious.
But my point is basically that like there's people who, for example, will look at people like Mark Kelly, who I would genuinely respect for the most part, like 9 times out of 10. You know what I mean?
PAC money.
But like, he's voted against things that I need to have done, like the release of the Epstein files. I need to have certain things done for me to believe that you are actually against the system. You know what I mean? Like I need those things. That's all I ask
workers, for. Blue Amp Action Pack. At least on his open secrets, it's not awful. His PAC contributions are actually not terrible.
No,
National Marine Manufacturers, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers.
I don't think he's the worst of the bunch.
Awful.
I want to make that very clear. I think he's better than a lot of people.
AIPAC money?
So I know it sounds like I'm talking shit about him specifically, but it's not necessarily that. It's just that he's a good example.
I'm just curious.
But I mean, he's a good example of somebody who's like trying to run for president, who is in a lot of ways pretty good, but I don't know if I can trust him fully. You know what I mean?
Nope. Yep. For Jesus, that's.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, and he voted against the defunding of aid to, or military aid, like offensive military aid to Israel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, if you do those kinds of things, I can't as a person, left or right, bring myself to say that I want to vote for you. You know what I mean?
I mean, the problem with that, I will say, like I understand this, and I think we get into this a lot when we talk about electoralism. The problem with that, I would say, is mostly the system that we have built forces us to I mean,
yeah,
we only get 2 options.
I understand that, but
I just don't believe
in
where
that.
It's like, if I can get 1% better, I'll take 1% better. Doesn't mean I like 1%, and doesn't mean I like both choices or even the one I'd end up picking. But the question is always like, if you can get 1% better, you take 1% better. But I'm also somebody who believes that, like, at the end of the day, on the Democratic side, we need to be running these primaries, which I'm glad to see is happening.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is the reason that we're only allowed 1% better is because the primaries in and of themselves are barriers to progress. You know what I mean?
But that's changing. That's changing on the Democratic side. I hope it changes on the Republican side. I don't foresee that happening because the farther that party has kind of sunk into, I think it's like Trump identity, the more the base is becoming just kind of Trump voters, and those normie folks aren't participating, or even the people who break away from Trump, they're not going to be participating in the primaries at the same level and the same energy that like a Trump voter would. I think we saw a quick insertion there real quick with what's his face? Like
real quick, hold on. I agree with you actually a lot, but can I make a quick sort of kind of whatever is that you are right, like what you're saying right there about like the Republican voters who sort of kind of came out in droves to vote for Trump or whatever, like those people are not there. You know what I mean? Those people have jumped off basically the train, and you're sort of kind of right in your assessment of like, I guess
got to go somewhere.
Well, here's what I would say is I think what's happened is a lot of people are just genuinely like, well, I won't vote for the left, and I'm not going to vote for whatever this is going on. So then they just won't vote. So then there will be a blue tidal wave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that is what's going to happen because they have lost faith in the left already. That's why they voted for, like, that's the thing is like people like me, for example, who were leftist sort of kind of Bernie guys, right? And then you go to be like, all right, I want the anti-war guy.
I mean, but that wing is
my point is
this
is sort of kind of just the direct. I'm not
like
necessarily saying that this is exactly correct or that this is even. I don't even know if this is normal, but this is what I would take it as. Is that like basically there was your Bernie guys who were anti-war, you know, trying to get, you know, more America First type stuff going on, including with anti-corporatism, stuff like that, like that group of people. And those people got sort of kind of shunted by the you know, just what's the word when Bernie got kicked out of the DNC basically, or just cheated out of it.
I mean, he got defeated. His movement was defeated.
Yeah, but it was cheated. He was cheated.
His candidacy was defeated.
Yeah, but he was cheated out of it. Like, we know that wasn't a democratic system. We know that we got it rigged.
Everyone
knows it was a fucked system. So the whole thing is, so those people were like, okay, if the democratic system, like the Democratic Party, the Democratic National Convention is rigged, then I can't vote for them. So then I have to vote for somebody on the right, hopefully who's giving me the same message. They were hoping that it wasn't rigged just as the same. And it was. You know what I mean? Like, it was the exact same rigging. Yeah, they got caught in the same trap twice in a row.
But then for the future,
so now
my point is that they don't have anywhere on the right anymore. Like
I agree.
Those people who are looking for
my
that.
point
There's
is that they don't have a point.
Right.
They have anywhere on the left or the right because they feel like they've been shunted in both ways.
Well, I think that's incorrect. Because they do have a place.
I agree that there is probably at this point maybe like
races for James Tallarico. It's in the races for
you're probably right about that.
Candidates. These people
that's my
because
point.
Because as much as the
left
DNC
has taken over the
to
Democratic Party,
Bernie's
if that makes
movement,
sense.
We're on the come up, baby.
Yeah, you're right.
The left flank is, you know, like we're gonna have what probably.
Well, because if the left actually takes over the Democratic Party, a lot of the people who voted for Trump and voted for Bernie, that big coalition that made the whole presidency worth it in both terms, would be on that side of like the Democratic, you know, actual leftist, like government intervention, you know, side, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I agree with that.
That's the hope.
And I mean, hopefully it is. Hopefully it does go well. I just worry
AOC
that
runs. I hope to see, you know, hopefully.
Well, I don't know about AOC.
If she ends up running for Senate, maybe she should really be running for Senate, but I don't know. It kind of feels like, because I think like some people would be like, I don't know if AOC is ready for a presidential run, and I would probably mostly agree.
Who would you want her running mate to be?
I
don't think I've thought about that yet. But like, if AOC
I don't
runs,
think I have
who would
anybody.
be her running mate?
I mean, if I was her,
you know who would be awesome?
I mean, I would pick fucking Bernie, but
Bernie. Well, yeah, Bernie. Okay, but you know who would actually be really good?
Because Bernie would be good at whipping votes in the Senate.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Like he would still basically be playing in the Senate and be able to go around the country and do rallies and shit for the admin.
What about Ro Khanna?
But he wouldn't.
I think an AOC Ro Khanna ticket would actually probably kill it, because Ro Khanna has had a lot of media influence in the last 3 years. He's been respectable and respected on the left and the right. He would be able to bring over all those people on the right who were like the Epstein people.
Yeah.
I don't think necessarily that he would win as a primary candidate, but I think he would win.
I think he would. I think is he going to end up? I think he's gearing up to run.
Oh no, he definitely is.
And if you put both of them against each other, I'm picking AOC. Like that's a really easy
I agree with that, because Ro Khanna is definitely much more of an institutional person. Like he's
yeah. I mean,
he's still part of the institution. Like I mean, he makes a lot of steps, tech money. But he's still
he takes tech money, and it's like.
But so would you vote for a Thomas Massey Ro Khanna vote? He kind of
rationalizes it, but.
Or would you vote for a Ro Khanna Thomas Massey vote or ticket?
Only if Ro Khanna is at the top of it.
I think that's actually very possible.
Well, we've talked about this before, and I'll explain this since we haven't talked about it on stream. The problem, in my eyes, as somebody who organizes and as somebody who's a little bit more involved, is the problem with a cross-party ticket in 2028 is that Thomas Massey has a large following, Ro Khanna has a large following. One of them has to be the front man, and the other one has to take the back seat. And both sides of that support are going to want to lead, because at the end of the day, the president sets the agenda, vice presidents mostly are ceremonial and are kind of just the designated survivor sort of deal.
I get what you're saying. What if they're able to actually have like an equal balance though with that? Like what if they were able to, like for example, there's that one guy who ran recently, I think in one in I can't remember the exact state, but after his win, or maybe it was after his loss, I can't remember exactly, I'll be honest with you, but there was a whole it happened in the last like 3-4 days. This is the only reason I'm not 100% on everything that went on, but basically there was like he went after he addressed the AG, or put a petition into the AG to look into different things about his election and different things like that. And it was because of the AIPAC involvement within his election.
I'm assuming it's not the California primary.
No, I don't think it was California. I think it was sort of kind of an insignificant state. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a big one, but he
Shout out to
had
flyover
like
country.
Yeah, but he made like an actual not complaint, but like an actual addressal or whatever to the AG of his state. So the attorney general actually has to look into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not off the top. It
was within the past couple of days. It's not like so whatever. But so what if, for example, because I think it'd be very possible to get like a Ro Khanna voter onto the same ticket as a Thomas Massey voter, and a Thomas Massey voter on the same ticket as a Ro Khanna voter. And I also think that there was another guy also who just got elected who had like it was like a memorandum, or it was like some kind of legal document that he signed that said like, hey, if I don't get these things done within or if I go back on these promises, meaning like I don't at least try to achieve these things, you can sue me. Like he put it in, it was like a contract that he made with his state. Like what if, for example, both of them did that? Like if I don't think they'll do it.
I don't think
I'm not saying that.
Nobody with sense would, especially if you're running for president, because the likelihood that you don't get to do something, or the likelihood that you have to do the opposite of what you initially wanted to do, is fairly high the higher up you go.
No, I know. I just thought it was an interesting thought. If you, for example, make a contract out there that says like, hey guys, if I'm not going to go against these principles, and if I go against these principles, you're allowed to sue me. You know what I mean?
So here's the thing. What is the platform? Like, what would the platform look like? And would the platform look different if it's Ro Khanna on the top or Massie on the top?
I don't
because
think
both
it would,
of them,
though.
while they do have agreements, while they do have things that they would,
I get what you're getting at.
Both have. I would presume, without knowing, like having an idea of both their politics, I would presume that Massie has a few things that are his like S tiers.
But I think
Ro has
actually,
in his
if I'm going to be
A or
honest
B
with you, I think the better
and vice
option
versa.
would be to have Ro Khanna at the top and have Thomas Massie as his VP, because Ro Khanna.
So what do you do when you have a conservative voter that goes, but then it's my stuff is all on the back burner?
Yeah, it's not that it's at least in my opinion, what I would say is it's not on the back burner. It's that, hey, we're going to get these things done, but you're going to have a person in the room that makes sure that it doesn't violate your rights and actually tries, like these things actually are trying to give you a better life. And now we have somebody in the room who is there for you and will make sure that if anything was actually to go over the border, that he would fight for it and be out there on the streets.
But what makes that any different than electing any other representative to Congress or to the Senate?
Well, because Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna have put themselves on the line in actual, like, Thomas Massie in and of himself has been what's it called, like dismantled as a seat in the House.
So doesn't that point to a certain amount of weakness in his movement then?
No, I think that's actually just, again, because AIPAC spent how much money? They spent more money in any other race.
But that's the thing. But that's like the thing, right? Is it's like, if I'm Ro Khanna, I just watched you get your fucking ass gaped. Like, do I want to take the risk of bringing you on as a VP when?
Yeah, I think you do. Because
objectively, you couldn't win a primary in your own state, in your own party. The question is, if you're Ro Khanna, what is it? And this goes for Massie as well. What voters are you delivering me that makes it worth it for me? And I think Thomas Massie has a constituency. The problem is, I don't think he has a solid constituency. Like, let's say like you can have 1 million people vote for you, right? But if all millions of those people, if all that million is spread out amongst every state in an electoral college system, that's not going to fucking matter. You're going to get fucked by the electoral system. So like, even though he might be popular with millions of Americans, if he doesn't have like a base of support that they can point to in multiple states to go like, okay, we can, with your support, we can shore up this percentage of the vote in Oklahoma, this percentage of the vote in Georgia, this percentage of the vote in Vermont, stuff like that. Howdy, person whose name can you pronounce that, Cody?
Hey, what's going on, Glockwork?
Glockwork, sure. That college makes sense to me.
Just to be clear, Glockwork Orange I'd be stopping in his streams all the time. He's
I didn't pick that up. That's good.
It's
good.
clockwork, but Glockwork. He's
no.
actually
I
really
like
dope.
that. I like that.
He's dope. He is.
I enjoy that.
He's like a leftist, but he's also like a little bit like me in the sense that, like, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think he's more on your side than he is on my side of like politics. I mean, ladies love socialists, boys. Well, I don't think he'd ever say he was a socialist. I think there's a lot of he says he's a Nazi.
Well, that's not socialism, now is it?
Me and him have had this conversation. We've already been there. All right. He's just trolling. He's a fucking troll. He is a socialist, but he wants to...
He's got the Pepe.
Yeah, El Pepe.
Depends on the details. Oh dear.
I've had this conversation. I love this. He's actually really good. He's pretty cool. I was watching him play what's that one game? It was like a week ago. The new Dead Space type game. You know what I mean? What was that shit called?
Everything is subjective object. Those are the two things that everything can be. Everything is real or not real. That is accurate. You have me there, sir.
Okay, but where were we at?
But yeah, I mean, when we're talking electoralism, I think it's just like there's a difference between, I think, realistic strategy and, you know, I think what I don't want to say what we would want, but kind of, you know, in a hypothetical matchup, if we did this and this, and then there's the like reality of like juggling, trying to find, because also I think the problem is what have we been suffering from most of our lives? And it's like calculated centrist policy, especially at the top, right? Like policy that doesn't necessarily like, you know, lean in one direction or the other. It's just like, let's just manage capitalism. Let's just keep the ship rolling as evenly as possible. And has that really paid off for Americans? Not really. Like, you know, wages have only continue to stagnate. Fucking like all the goddamn tech shit has only fucking expanded and begun to take over our lives. I think what people are looking for isn't this like middle ground between left and right. We've been living in a middle ground between left and right for like fucking ever. We need to evolve and we need to like get into an actual, you know, actually take an ideological path, actually move towards a future. You know, it's I often say it's socialism or barbarism, aka fascism.
I don't necessarily,
and I think that's kind of where we're at. Like we can't continue with this like centrist liberal bullshit. Where like what are we gonna do? Make another fucking program where like, you know, if you are a working, you know, if you're like a person of color in a marginalized community and you make $52,000 or less, you can get a $5,000 grant to start a business within 10 miles of city limits. Like what the fuck? Like what? Like we're past this. We need to fucking get past all this bullshit. We need to get past all this centrist fucking like angling for the absolute right. Like this fake like, oh, we just need to like properly allocate it or properly fucking calibrate it to the exact need we need. Like, no, we need universal systems. We need real change to like millions upon millions of Americans.
Yeah,
that's why the left argues for things like also Medicare for all and college for all and things of that nature.
Yeah, no, I get that. Oh, sorry, Clockwork. Yeah, he's definitely a leftist. Just letting you know. But I mean, hey, I
would be described as a democratic socialist.
To be fair, though, we're all leftist. I mean, we live in America. We're more left than like most of the world. So, you know, I mean,
yeah.
If you live in America, you believe in leftist ideologies. The only difference is, you know, how far left you want to go. Like that's really all that comes to. But yeah, no, I agree with a lot of that. I mean, the thing is I guess that I just don't know. I don't know. I just have my reservations. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I agree with you on most of that.
What am I a wolf in sheep's clothing? What am I lying about? What about anything that I just said do you disagree with, Clockwork? I'm curious. I remember these days because I used to get all kinds of people like this late at night on my streams. I would love for you to tell me, is the new way to say tanky, etc. Wow, that's a really okay. So again, what about anything I said do you disagree with? Also, not a tanky. Thank you very much.
This is fun now.
Mods checked. I don't know what that means.
No, ain't no mods, dog. I don't have mods. You can say whatever you want, friend. Dog.
I mean, probably don't say like the N word.
Well, I mean, I'd not appreciate it. But no, I mean,
it says my message is being checked by mods. Oh, okay.
Oh, really? Oh, no. It's all coming up. You're all good.
That's probably the auto one.
Yeah,
it's the generic Twitch auto mod.
But I don't have any.
But no, I want to hear it. This is why I said, Cody. At some point, we need to like figure out how to do call. We need to do like a call-in thing.
Oh no, this dude,
I love
dude. I stop him with him all the time. Like he does all types of content. I mean, you know. Yeah, I see him all the time on, and I'll stop in randomly. Most of the time, his stuff is just sort of kind of.
I just cringe at the term "demsock." Okay.
I mean, actually, to be fair, if I'm gonna be honest, I think me and him have had this.
Can we
conversation.
dig a little deeper?
Well, no. Me and him have had this conversation a little bit. I'm not gonna speak for him. I'm not gonna say what he thinks, but I think me and you have had sort of kind of the same conversation in that like I don't like the term. Because I don't necessarily believe in all of those things, like that a democratic socialist believe, but I would say that, like, I agree that there needs to be, like, you know, like we need to have social programs and things like that, but also there needs to be some checks on those programs. That's all that is. But
none of that has anything to do with like democratic socialism. Like that's.
No, I know, but I think the democratic socialism term has been co-opted into something that it isn't. That's my point. You know what I mean? Like they.
What do you mean? I mean it describes
when most people hear democratic socialist, they literally just think communism. That's my thing. Is like if they hear democratic socialism,
anybody who hears democratic, but anybody who hears democratic socialist and is like that's communism. I'm like, well, you could, you know, there are words that I say, there are words that people use, and you can fucking hallucinate other words, but that's not my problem.
No,
if I say democratic socialist and you say communist, then I tell you to fix your fucking learn English a little bit.
Well, that's probably
because if I wanted to say communism, I could say communism, but I don't because there's a distinct difference between the two.
No, I understand that.
The term, assign assessment and the way it's infiltrate it's a way to infiltrate Democrats and liberals, etc. So, Glockwork, are you a liberal then? Are you a Clinton guy? Natsock.
Yeah, well, it's like when I say National Socialist, but people say it's Nazi.
Nobody says National Socialist though, and also the Nazis took that term specifically because socialism was on the rise in popularity in Weimar Germany. Like they co-opted the name specifically to trick people into thinking they were getting any of the good shit with socialism, and then was like, nah, we're just gonna like commit genocide.
No, they did co-opt it. That is true. They did co-opt the term. Yeah.
Oh, is this dude a Nazi then? Is that what I'm supposed to take from this? Well, that's good. That's always fun. I guess it is that time of night. The Nazis do come out late.
No, actually, he's not a Nazi. He genuinely, I'm not gonna lie to you, every time I talk to him, at some point in the night he starts talking about this, but he's not actually a Nazi.
So he's or is he like, no, I'm a National Socialist. I believe in nationalists. Shit, man, I didn't stream much tonight. The internet.
He's a fun guy. He's a fun guy. He really is.
Like I said, at some point we can.
I would genuinely love to have a conversation with y'all three. It'd be or with you two. It'd be so fucking funny because he's like the light end of his entire like I was in his chat one day and there's a couple dudes who are getting it. They are.
I'm really nervous to know what exactly that means.
Well, no, I mean, see, here's the thing. None of them, I guess, is what I would call a Nazi. But there's one of them who I definitely think was a Nazi. But the other multiple of them were basically like normal people. They were just like having conversations. But there was one dude who was pushing it a little bit too hard. Yeah, you know Butta. I love Butta. He's wilding, bro. Butta be wilding. Yeah, he lets like everybody, like we have like full on conversations in his Discord about like all types of different, political stances. So like he's at least open. He's very like, he'll have the conversation with anybody. So I know, you know what I mean? He's an interesting guy.
This is all not ingratiating.
No. He's listen.
You should probably judge Nazis. I'm gonna throw that out there.
This is the thing.
There's judgment. There is due judgment to Nazis.
Okay, no. He definitely
I view everything way too philosophically. Well, I know somebody else who does that too. So
is his name Adolf?
No,
it's
Cody. Mostly,
yeah,
but.
I know that's me. No, me and him actually get along a lot when it comes to this kind of stuff because I just take the philosophical argument more than I take like the actual argument a lot of the time.
God, now I know how Sam Cedar felt talking to Tim Pool now.
Hey man, I'm sorry. But it is really funny because like so me and him like he was in a conversation with this dude Butta who Butta seems like a nice enough guy until he gets drunk. And then when he gets drunk, he starts saying wild shit. I mean, just wild shit. And you'd be like, you'd be in there and you'd be sitting there and be like, all right, this guy's he's definitely like 12 beers deep. This is a problem. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't know. I enjoy being in conversations when people are just like open. Like, tell me what you think so that I can combat you. If I can't combat you because you're not telling me what you really think, then there's no real reason to have a conversation. You know what I mean? It's like if we're having conversations and you're just flouting everything as like this thing that you think, but you don't actually think it because you're trying to hide what you actually think. I really don't like those conversations. I'd rather have a conversation with somebody who's like, hey, I'm racist. Like, and just be honest about that shit. Like, and I'm down with it. Like, it's fine. I'd rather have that conversation than just you trying to act like you're cool and normal, but still citing racist statistics and this and that. It's like, it creates...
Oh God, you guys aren't getting into race science, are you?
Oh no.
Probably left that behind in the 20th century.
No, most of that stuff is, we don't talk about that stuff. But just the idea.
Hope
that
the boys
like,
aren't breaking out their calipers.
No, none of that. But I do think it annoys me when I am like talking to somebody and they're trying to act as though they're, I don't know, like not arguing from their own point of view. You know what I mean? Like it's dumb. It's like just, I don't know. It's stupid. Anyway, I did want to finish with this one thing about the Amish. was a wild one. No, I know, man. Clockwork.
Interesting.
Yeah, Clockwork is chill.
Didn't you have to go like 20 minutes ago?
Yes, I did. But we're gonna finish this.
All right, make it fast because I also kind of gotta go.
All right,
the
got
Sundays
you.
in between are called
So-
visiting Sunday.
All
There's
right.
no church, just
No, we're
family
not gonna talk about this
visits,
part.
slow meals, conversation,
Yeah,
and
hold
rest.
on.
After week, year after year, I think gets overlooked a lot when looking at the Amish. That the people
he's
inside
not
this
gonna.
life are also building businesses and
Trust me,
building
buddy,
things for each other and
I've
quietly running
some
one of
much
the
more
most
spicy individuals before.
This guy, he's literally been my best friend since like 9th grade, 10th grade. We're good. He's fine. But he's great. This is the way the Amish built businesses and stuff, and I think this is very interesting. That's my whole thing.
fascinating economies in modern America. So, this is what I was mentioning earlier. Amish men today, many of them are not full-time farmers. For most of the 20th century, they were. But as farmland prices started to climb and family sizes stayed massive, the financial math kind of stopped making sense. I mean, you can't subdivide a 100-acre farm amongst 8 sons and then do that again and again and again. So starting in the 1970s and the 80s, Amish men started to move into other trades, and it turns out they were really, really good at them. So today, Amish-owned businesses are everywhere in places like Lancaster and Holmes counties, and you'll have furniture shops that are literally like handcrafting these solid wood tables that they'll sell for thousands of dollars. Construction crews building barns and houses for the English clients across half a dozen states. Remember, in this context, English is just non-Amish. And you'll have bakeries and harness makers and blacksmiths and machine shops and buggy repairs and even a few small manufacturing operations. So multiple studies have actually found that Amish small businesses have an extraordinarily high survival rate compared to the average American small business. And some estimates would put it even above 90%.
I wonder
so
how
why
they're
are these Amish
structured.
businesses working so well? Well, there's a few reasons.
All right.
There's, first off, very low overhead. There's no corporate debt. You have a workforce of family members that are willing to work for, but sometimes no money at all. And you have a brand. You have this quality, handmade, traditional brand that, English, aka non-Amish consumers are happy to pay a premium for, which leads kind of like to a sort of an ironic kind of ripple to this whole thing that even the Amish are aware of, that many Amish communities survive economically not by avoiding capitalism, but by kind of selectively engaging with it, right? Like they're not assimilating to the modern world, but they are selling to the modern world. And so, someone like you or me, to them, the English will buy the table and the quilt, and maybe they'll, pay $20 for a ride on a buggy. And the Amish then use that money to keep their world intact. And according to their own Ordung, this is, participation, but not reliant.
Means of production is a more equitable and sustainable organization of the workplace. It's almost like socialism works. Jesus Christ.
Well, to be fair,
our Lord and their Savior.
To be fair, he's not arguing that what you're saying is wrong. He's just saying they're working within the system. He just doesn't.
No, that's what I mean. He's so close. He's so close. It's like painful. It's like, oh my God, a world without CEOs, a world without a owner of production, of the productive force. Like maybe ownership is the thing that like robs us of all of good in the world.
I know this is why I wanted to bring it to you, because I was like, oh, you will love
I just love that he's like, oh, they're embracing capitalism. They're not. They're actually not, but okay.
It's so funny because I was like, this is going to trigger you so hard. I knew it was. I knew this was going to be so good.
That's so.
And the
deeper
economic story here isn't about business.
They say,
it's actually
they say the worst
more about like
thing about being a socialist, and Karl Marx would appreciate this, is you're 30 years too early to the solution. You just have to watch everybody else slowly and arduously get there while you're just like, okay, yep, I said that 20 years ago, but okay, we're getting there one day.
what they call mutual aid. So the Amish don't carry.
This is the other part that I thought was really interesting. So I thought this was really cool.
Socialism can be
commercial insurance. They don't have health insurance.
Clockwork. That's everything. Everything is many things and only for certain people. You're not describing anything. It's also not a form of economics. It's an organization of economics.
I'll let you guys have your conversation.
What backs socialism? What do you mean what backs socialism? No, because we need to do this other voice, because like going back and forth, he can't type as fast as I can talk. And it's always really unfair. It's always unfair to chatters, because it's like I can go like this, but they have to I'll make 10 points before they're done being able to address the first one.
No, that's fair. Well, all right. Well, this is the last thing.
I mean, one of us can just be incorrect and the other can be correct.
He said, I have to study thumbs.
I think we both know which one of us is correct and which one of us is
like,
not.
I gotta get my thumbs better. This is funny. All right. Well, we'll finish this only because this is, I think, really good, because this is about how, what's it called? Like they have like a mutual aid sort of kind of fund that they constantly have.
Oh, mutual aid, you say?
Shut up, Josh. I know.
A community
and
fund,
according to their own Ordung, this is, participation, but not reliance. And the deeper economic story here isn't about business. It's actually more about like what they call mutual aid. So the Amish don't carry commercial insurance. They don't have health insurance. They don't have homeowners insurance. Like if your barn burns down, your barn burned down, and you announce it to the church. And then what happens next is one of the most interesting things in rural America. Dozens, maybe hundreds of Amish men will show up at your property the next day.
Josh, I can see your face right now. I don't.
They don't have insurance because nobody's making money on betting against the destruction of your property. There's not a market for it because they haven't created it. Because they reject the market of usury. Jesus Christ. Man. Actually, it's not usury. It's a different term, but oh my God.
You're so aggressive.
They're going to bring tools, and they're going to bring wood and lumber, and the women are going to bring meals, and the kids might play around. And in a single day, sometimes two, they're going to rebuild your barn.
How do they pay for all these things?
Walls, roof, all of that will be done before the end of the weekend, and you'll be back in business by Monday morning.
For this mutual
it's pretty
aid?
crazy. You should watch videos of the Amish building barns, and you can see like how quickly they do it over a time lapse. Literally within 48, 72 hours,
money
they went from no barn to a full functional barn.
The community.
Now the same thing happens with medical bills. So like if a child needs a surgery, or a family racks up like $400,000 hospital bill from a complicated birth, and they have to go to the hospital and they save the baby, but the baby's in a NICU for 6 months. Well, the church absorbs that cost. Every district maintains an informal fund.
They have universal
like their own
healthcare.
kind of insurance. Sometimes neighboring districts will even contribute to it if the need is that dire.
Oh, man.
And if the bill is enormous, an Amish aid network steps in to spread the cost across multiple different settlements. No one is left to drown in medical debt, and no one loses their farm because, someone's grandma got cancer or something. And this is what they mean by community. It's not just like hanging out together, having a drink. It's not just, we believe in the same God. It is an actual functional safety net.
Take it away
one
from
that
you
doesn't
when you
depend on the
don't.
government or the insurance industry or a financial system. It is truly an internalized support system.
Literally, I will say, these Amish systems, they're just communism. They're just communes. That's all that's happening. What we are watching isn't even socialism. It's farther. It's fucking communism. But like, oh man, good Lord.
It's just so funny to watch you watch this. It's so funny.
It's like we look at these people and like sneer and kind of laugh, but at the end of the day, they have the system that everybody actually wants, which is we all pay into the fund, we all get taken care of, we all do like it's oh man. Always fun. No, I'm good. I'm not stressed. It's just the usual. If I don't react in some kind of way, how boring would this be if I just sat here and went, yeah, it's communism. Yep, that's communism. Yep, that's communism. Hey, look, some more communism. That'd be kind of boring, right? Kind of got to play it up a little bit. You know, I would hope you would appreciate the
you're so fucking aggressive.
You know, the cinematic quality of watching me react to things.
All right.
And
I'm
be
sorry. I apologize.
exacerbated from the fact that the Amish have the future we all want.
That's so funny. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, wait, did I?
Well,
I had
so here's the thing.
Oh, well.
So Glockwork mentioned religion is gross. Here's kind of my counter to that. It's not necessarily about the religion that we're watching, right? None of anything that you heard in that video has anything to do with dogma. None of it does. What it all has to do is what is building community. And one thing that churches and religious institutions are good at are building durable, strong communities. And the argument for that is like, you know, a community made up of people who believe, you know, the same religion. It's easy to get them to connect and it's easy to get them to care about each other. What you want is to build that structure around government where we are all involved in each other's lives. We all have investment into each other's lives, not because we all share the same religion in this case, but because we all recognize a certain level of humanity and a certain level of, I guess, neighborliness. Like, you know, if you go to like your community, like if you live in an apartment complex or you live in like a little community, the more that community does community events, does like little activities in their like cul-de-sac, stuff like that, that kind of thing brings communities together. And that's kind of the base. That's like the total basis of, you know, a more socialist system, is one that is centered around the social aspect, around the society. That's the difference. The difference between socialism and capitalism. Capitalism is not about building community. Capitalism is not about, in terms of structuring a system, about bettering other people, getting to know your neighbors. It is about accumulating wealth for those who own property and about the accumulation of that wealth and hoarding more and more of it. The system is geared towards buying more. The way to win fucking capitalism is to just own everything and be rich. The same way you win in a game of Monopoly. The way to win under socialism is when most people can live a dignified life. That is kind of the goal, is that you don't want people way up here and people way down here. You want people, you know, there's always going to be people up here, but you want everybody to have a certain baseline level of experience in life. So it's my 2 cents. It doesn't really have much to do with religion. I mean, the video, you know, it's looking at a religious group, but what they're building isn't religious. What they're building is community.
Yeah, I get what you're getting at. I mean, Clockwork Orange is making a whole thing about like it's about people you want versus whatever, and that's his whole thing. I don't necessarily know if I agree with that. You know what I mean? But I understand the argument that it's like you want it to be for people you accept versus people that are just there. But I don't think that's a really great argument, if I'm being honest with you. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think
there is merit to that. There is merit. I'm not saying there's not merit to it. I just don't necessarily know if that's. I don't know. I guess where I always end up getting to when it comes to like that kind of thing is just like, I just wish we could pause things. You know what I mean? Just like I know that's not necessarily possible, and that's the problem with being, as he's talking about, a little too philosophical. Like that's the way I think too. A little bit is it's like if we could just pause stuff for a couple minutes and like figure stuff out, then like, you know what I mean? That'd be awesome. Like so that we could like just like take a pause, figure out how to get these people in, how to readjust our systems, how to like do this thing. You know what I mean? All that stuff. Like I think that is correct. You know what I mean? However, I just also realize that that's not the system we live in, because the world doesn't pause because we want it to. And so like you have to make decisions. And I would personally, if I was in control, I would allow more immigration, but also in the same ways create more businesses and like re-divert our foreign aid to us so that we're able to create jobs and also more infrastructure to be able to create all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, immigration isn't the problem. Like, who we let in isn't necessarily the problem. The problem is that there's an inflation of population versus jobs. You know what I mean? And that allows the companies who facilitate the jobs to be able to make sure that we can't get real wages because of that. You know what I mean? Like
But there's also a reason for that, though.
I mean, there is.
Like at the end of the day, like there's a certain level of scarcity, but we create the scarcity.
But that's my point.
And that's my point. It's from my view that at the end of the day, if wages continue to raise, it wouldn't matter what the immigration levels are.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Workers had more power in the workplace and everything else, it wouldn't matter. Yeah, like these sorts of things, it's like
you're not wrong.
We can let
but
in
that
a million
doesn't
people,
mean that other factor is
as long as
there.
people have the ability to demand better for themselves and work towards that, then it doesn't. It doesn't matter. Like I was talking to Mary earlier today, and it was like we walked past like one of the Amazon delivery trucks. And I was like, would you ever work for Amazon, like doing the delivery stuff? She's like, nah, I'd never want to do that because of kind of their reputation, right? But like, could you imagine, like, think about this for a second. Amazon could probably, almost assuredly, I have no doubt that they could pay their workers like incredible wages, like 70, 80, 90, 100K. For like the bottom level people. That is such a large company, such a productive company. They make so much fucking money on like every single little thing. And would it make wouldn't it make their lives a little bit easier? They don't have to deal with workers constantly unionizing. They don't have to deal with, investigations from, news outlets on like the horrible treatment, all of that stuff. But like, they actively choose to like not like they have fucking dragon vaults of money, and they're just like, we could pay everybody an amazing wage. We just choose not to. Yeah. We just made the decision to go, you all get pennies and we get, $250 bills. And it's like that's a choice that those people have made at the top, because that's the incentive structure. Because they would say like, why would I throw them a bone? Why would I give a shit about their quality of life?
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I get it. I don't know. I get both sides of it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like that, I don't know. It's just, it is a hybrid problem, in my opinion. In that
who created the incentive structure to buy things and buy from them. Well, that's created by a market, which are generally controlled by.
Society definitely created its own problems, but that's not
society
like the,
creates all problems.
Yeah, that's not like the source of like. That's tiny hats. Here we go. All right.
Well, that's where I get off the train.
I get it. Sorry, guys.
No, but I actually do gotta run.
No, I gotta run too. That didn't. I promise that didn't actually make us go off. We both had to get off.
He's had to get off for a lot longer.
I've had to get off for like an hour. But anyway, all right. I love you guys. Thank you for stopping in. Glockwork, I'll see you on your stream whenever you next stop in, or whenever you next go on. I'll hop in. Josh, thanks for the conversation tonight. It was fun. You know what I mean? We had a good time.
As always.
It was a good time today, dude. We had fun, dude. That was cool. Anyway, yeah, we'll hop back on. I don't know, maybe next Tuesday, something like that. We'll do another politics stream or something like that. You know what I mean? We'll figure it out.
I'm easy to find on the internet.
Yeah. All right. I love you guys.
Very easy to find.
He said very easy. That was rude. All right. Well, anyway.
No. I mean, hey, look, I'm quoted in articles from multiple publications.
Is it the one that I've been adding? I just want to make sure that it's not something else. It's the at JAW5H, right?
It should be. Should be.
I just want to make sure I wasn't. You know what I mean?
To be honest, I haven't checked my fucking. I don't think I've looked at my Twitch account in forever. Here, I'll post the link on here just to.
Yeah, go and post the link.
I should say.
Definitely. Sweet. Let me see here. Let me go ahead and.
Yeah, for whatever that's.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and. Let me post that into the chat real quick so that. There we go.
There you go, and you can check out my YouTube channel that I haven't posted anything in forever.
Yeah, but anyway, you're gonna start doing it with me every week, so it'll be fun.
Yeah. I have 131 VODs. I haven't looked at this in a while. Damn, I used to be fucking on it. But anyway, all right, I'm out.
All right, peace out, guys.
I'm gonna go take a piss now before I piss in my fucking chair.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.